Just kidding. I'm not starting right at 5 o'clock. No. I could get away with that today, but I can't get away with that on other days. So just give it a minute to set up. Here it comes. Okay, there we go. Just kidding. I'm not. Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome to the GoldFish Report. I'm your host, Louisa. Yes, I'm back for a second time today, April 1st. I was only kidding about starting on time. So today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, and this is GoldFish Report number 473, and I have two really special friends and guests with me today to talk about survival 101. We're going to talk about gardening, getting a garden started, and little tips you can do, especially when you have like a patio or limited space in terms of gardening and planting. So let me introduce my guest, my friend Deb Purcell from Arizona, who is an amazing gardener, and I've seen it myself with my own eyes. She also does light language, and she does readings and healings for people. So welcome, Deb, for first time on the GoldFish Report. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, a friend of the GoldFish Report, James Borg from Euphoria Chronicles, and he also knows how to garden, and he got a lot of good tips to help us. So thanks for joining us, James. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem. I got into gardening because it helps you ground with the earth. So that's why I love gardening.
Yeah, you see, one of the reasons I think because we're all kind of stuck at home and we don't have, there's a lot of people are looking for things to do, and I think that we need to start preparing ourselves to kind of go back to basics. We should all have at least some kind of little, garden. I would say like patio garden, something where we can have some amount of food that we can sustain ourselves with, in the event that it's not readily available. So I have a brown thumb myself. I mean, I'm a city slicker. This is really, really very, very foreign to me, very alien, should I say, James? Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. I mean, I have a packet of seeds and I don't know what to do with it. So where do we start, guys? Let's start with Deb. Ladies first.
Take a tomato, slice it, get some really good dirt, compost, a little pot. Take your slices of tomato, bury it in the dirt, and water it. Keep it moist. Don't overwater it. And watch your tomato plants grow. You can do that before the weather thaws. Your ground thaws. You can start it now if you're in the Northeast. And by the time it's time to plant them, you're going to have some nice, healthy tomato plants. Just keep the soil moist.
Well, you're a native Bostonian or New England or
I'm
yourself.
I'm a masshole.
You got to know that you got to be from Massachusetts to know that. Okay.
That's right.
So Deb knows. We're in very similar climates. So you take a tomato and you cut a piece of it and
slice it like you would for a sandwich.
Okay, like a sandwich.
And use that.
Now, what
about
that
with cucumbers?
What about the soil?
It's got to be good compost, organic compost.
Organic compost.
You want good soil. You want something that's good. You don't want something that's got foreign objects in it. You want it to be organic.
Okay. If you don't have organic compost, let me see. There's peat. There's peat. Let me see. Where is this note that I had here? Peat, moss, and perlite. Have you heard of that? No, peat moss. Okay, but
I've heard of peat moss.
Yeah, but you're saying it's got okay. So if you don't have like the best organic compost, what kind of what about Miracle Grow plant nutrients? Do you add that or?
Miracle Grow is I don't use Miracle Grow.
No,
that's a fertilizer.
Okay.
You want to fertilize with fish emulsion.
Fish emulsion.
Yes.
Oh, I saw that.
Fish emulsion. That's the only fertilizer I use.
Okay. Let me go to James. James, before we started recording, you started talking about what you would take like a head of lettuce or something and you would cut. You said anything with roots. Can you explain what you were talking about as well? Because it's very similar to what Deb was saying, but
Yes, no problem. So I'll give you a
seaweed.
couple examples. So the only two examples I got live in my fridge, other than fruit, that's vegetable related, is lettuce, and I got radishes. So forgive me, this is a kind of beat up radish, but I'm trying to show the example. See the root there?
Yeah.
You want to slice it up, basically from a little bit like that, right? Slice it up. You can just so you have enough to put a root. And when it's a root like this, stick it in water for a few days, right? Let the root grow, okay? And you can do one of two things. If you're lucky and you have bananas, okay, you can slice the banana into like little slices and put the root in along with your dirt, okay? And water it like Debbie was saying about the tomatoes, right? And what Debbie said about the cucumbers too, that works as well, exactly the way she said it.
Okay.
But this is stuff that we can find in our fridge right now while we have them, right? And the other thing is romaine lettuce. Okay, so I got some Andy Boy lettuce from America, right? USA. Hey, but keep the ends, right? Keep the ends, right?
The ends, right.
This one I'm already started to keep the ends. And I'm going to do the same thing. Actually, I was going to do it today or tomorrow. I was going to stick them in water to let the roots start to grow. And then you got some romaine lettuce. Romaine lettuce and any leafy plant, plant it near your house border, okay? Closer to the wall, because it's warmer, especially in the Northeast. You get more sun, you get more heat. It'll grow better. And if there is a frost, it'll withstand the frost because it's closer to the border of the house, the wall of the house.
Now, how much water do you immerse the whole thing in water, or how much water do you put it in?
Enough to cover the roots, right? So a bowl that covers half this, just enough for the root, right? Also, you can poke it with toothpicks just to get the hole started to let it absorb better. It'll take maybe 2-3 days, and then you'll start to see some roots and then get some soil. Look, let's face it, we're in a virus situation here, so it's not like we can go to the landscaping store and buy all this stuff. If you don't have the best soil, just use plain dirt, right?
Okay. Now, Deb, what were you going to comment about the placing in the water? Did you have other tips too on that? Another tip?
Just what he was saying. Yeah, you don't want to immerse it in water. And when lettuce grows, when you get ahead of lettuce, just cut the lettuce and leave the rest of it. It continues to grow. Leave it in the ground.
Wow.
It continues to grow. You just cut what you need and leave the lettuce in the ground and just continue watering it as normal.
Right.
And your head that's down there is going to continue to grow lettuce.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was if you have a box, now, Deb, I know you have a box that you're growing in. Tell me about the drainage that you use. If you don't have land, now, if you don't have like property that you can grow on, and even though I have some property, I have so many animals that were just like, forget it. I just can't, I can't keep them out. And so, so I have to do like a deck garden. So, I don't have good luck with this. But I know you're going to help me, and you're going to help all the people and anybody who's here in the live chat. Welcome. And if you have tips and ideas about gardening, please share them, because the point of doing this report today is to help kind of seed the consciousness of people to start growing their own food and start getting ready, because we don't know how long we're going to be in this quarantine. We don't know how long things can be disrupted for. And what a great idea when people are stuck in their homes to think about what they can do to help themselves, really self-efficacy. If you needed to survive on your own, could you? And, this isn't going to feed my family in the bag. I've got to get it out of this bag, and I've got to get it to grow. So I have... tell me about what you do if you have a seed, though. If you have seeds that you bought, what are you supposed to do with the seeds, Deb?
Your egg cartons. Your eggs come in.
Okay.
Especially if you have the cardboard one, it's better than the styrofoam. Cardboard egg boxes. You put a little bit of dirt, a bit of dirt at first, and drop your seeds in. Put some more dirt on top of it, and then spritz it so it's not soaking wet.
You mean with this water bottle, you spray with
spritz it until the soil is damp. I mean, you can feel the soil. You don't want to drench it Just keep spritzing it every day, and you'll see those plants start sprouting.
Okay, I just want to say hello to everybody. We have people all over the world here. We got people from UK, from Serbia, from Florida, all over the place. So thanks for joining us. Yeah. So potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket.
Excellent. I was just going to go to potatoes. You know, you've got potatoes that have gotten soft. They've got eyes on them. Cut them, stick them in dirt, in a bucket, anything.
Okay.
Those grow. You'll have potatoes from those. One little potato will make a whole bunch of potatoes. The plant grows above. And when that plant dies, your potatoes are done. Dig them up. You've got a bunch of potatoes. Well, it grows in this big bush. And when that bush dies, that's when your potatoes are ready.
I had I'm pretty good once it's started to kind of maintain it, but getting it started, I just, you know why? Because I have this forced hard air in my house and it dehydrates it. So I keep watering it, and it's the wrong way to do it. I learned.
Use a spritzer instead of watering, deep watering it. Use a spritzer.
Got it.
Or you can even use, there's so many tips. Instead of, you know, like a straw and putting a little water down, like cut the straw so it's just going to the root. Put a little water down that, if that's going to help you, or you're not over watering something.
Right. So that's my problem, is I think I overwater it and then I kill it by accident. And I think that, you know, that probably happens a lot. Let me just screen share something that I found that I thought I had no idea that you would need to prepare for something like this. This is, I hope you guys can see it. This is to protect, it's an insect cover. Is that really necessary? Like in some places it might be, right? Or maybe not.
It's not really necessary for times like now, but if you haven't, why not? It's good, right?
Okay.
I've never used one.
You've never used one, Deb?
I've never used one either.
Okay. Okay. What about, okay, so we have a box. Deb, can you tell me about the drainage that you have in your box? And is it
I don't have any drainage in my box, but see, mine are in my boxes are in a yard. If you're having it, if you just have it on a patio, you're going to have to put some kind of plastic, heavy, thick plastic, and probably rocks before you put the dirt down, so that you know, you're going to have some kind of, you have to put some holes.
Okay.
It's going to have to drain somewhere.
Okay. I see.
You're going to have to figure out some kind of drainage so you're not going to have mold, or, you know, your dirt doesn't get some mold in it.
Right.
But you're going to have to put some kind of rocks in the drainage system in it if it's on a patio. So it's not sitting in water.
One of our viewers is saying she lives on the northern side. What can she grow in low lighting conditions? James or Deb, either one of you, whatever.
Potatoes, carrots, root vegetables.
Oh, root vegetables. Now, they don't need as much sun as...
They don't need any sun.
Really? Did you hear that?
Whoa! They don't need any sun.
This is so educational. This is great. Root vegetables don't need sun. Okay. Do we need to start some of these inside first and then put them out once we're sure that there's no free?
Not for root vegetables. You can
not
you
for
just,
root vegetables.
No, you just plant them.
Let's go down the line. So we're talking about beets. We're talking about potatoes,
carrots, radishes,
beets,
sweet potatoes,
celery. You can do the same sort of thing with celery too.
Yeah, celery.
Yeah, and again, when you cut the celery. Again, like Deb says, don't take the full thing out. Leave the root in and just cut what you need, because they continue going. The grocery stores, they give you the whole plant because they're selling it, right? But when you're actually farming it, you don't have to just cut what you need, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we got people all over the place.
And
yeah,
and also what Debbie said about tomatoes, this is a fast way that people can grow fast. And I would recommend people in New York, if you draw a line from New York and go up, right? Canada is about 3 to 4 weeks behind New York as far as growing seasons, because we get the snow and ice here. But you start them inside or by a window, right? Let them grow. And by around May 24th in Canada, You can plant them outside. In the States, you can do it a lot sooner than that. Maybe May 10th, you can start putting them outside, right?
Okay. All right, some people someone's in Sedona here, Jeannie, and she says she bought seeds and plant pots to grow on her condo patio. So that's great. What about, so someone here says use rainwater or melted snow or well water. Commercial city waters have chlorine or fluoride. Also not osmosis water, but water purified.
Reverse osmosis.
Why?
Because of the chemicals the city puts in them. So he's exactly right, or she is exactly right.
I don't have a choice. I have, I live in a city and my sprinkler system is city water, so.
Yeah. Deb is right.
You purify your food yourself. You just remove all of it by purifying your food. You just.
I think it's those fighter jets that practice flying at 8 o'clock in the morning by your house every morning over at Luke Air Force Base there. I think maybe they're helping out. I don't know. Hi, Wanda, again. Yes, I see you there. Thanks for joining me this morning. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, my husband built plywood boxes. They're very easy.
Okay.
Oops. He just a box. It's just a rectangular box of plywood.
Okay.
It's not something difficult. It was just he measured.
And it's closed on the bottom. It's closed on the bottom.
No, it's open on the bottom. There's nothing on the bottom.
What do you mean?
He just made 2 long rectangular sides and 2 short ends. There's nothing on the bottom. So just dirt. We just put dirt in.
I see. Okay.
So that's why we have no problem with drainage. We just place dirt in it.
She says reverse osmosis is lacking minerals. Use structured water to make a perfect hydrogen molecule in your water. Okay. Well, you know what? I have these, you can get these drops from the health food store for trace minerals. So if you add trace minerals to reverse osmosis purified water, is that okay? Is it just trace minerals? Yeah.
I just use, how are you going to do that when you're
in a virus situation?
City water hose. I have a city water hose and I use fish emulsion to
fish emulsion.
Yeah.
How much?
It's right on the bottle how to do it.
It is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Follow that. We've been using it we've always had a garden. I've been married almost 40 years, so we've never not had a garden.
Shungite purifies water. Okay, James, what did you want to say?
Okay, yeah, let me say some things fast because you're in a situation all over the world right now. A lot of stores are closed. We're in quarantine. I've been in quarantine myself for about a month now. Okay, so it's going to be gardening stores. They're all closed right now. It's only groceries. So where are you going to get the pots? This is guerrilla farming for people in the city. So I'm going to give you some fast tips.
Okay, all right, good.
You're recycling. Okay. Any plastic container that can store water, okay? If you're not using them for anything, fill them up with tap water and put them in a closet just to be safe in case they turn off the taps, okay? And the plumbing don't work, okay? You got water. Other than that, you can use those same containers, cut them, okay? Put dirt in them, and now you got a pot. Put a couple holes in the bottom so they have a little bit of drainage. Before you put the holes in them, line them with newspaper, just a little bit to keep it moist, okay? And you got a pot. Okay, so containers of all sorts that you find that can be useful. Now's the time to be a MacGyver and put them to use, right? Because the more containers you have, the more of them filled with dirt, the more stuff you can plant and grow. Because you can't trust anything right now. You got to do it yourself. Okay. And it's going to be the MacGyvers in the world like us that help everybody else.
Oh, well, it's going to be more you guys. Okay, Elizabeth Enyart says activated, Deb knows, activated charcoal added to soil pulls toxins out of the soil. So that's good but my soil around here is very sandy and it's very clay based. It's not good soil to be growing things in. It's got a lot of clay. It's, so that's not good. That's why I think I have to stick with the deck. So I'm going to buy potting soil. What have you got there, James? You got an egg?
Eggs are another thing.
Eggshell is excellent.
Yeah, eggshells. Also, if you don't have the egg,
coffee grounds is excellent.
Coffee grounds too, and tea as well. Yes, and the egg as well. you can chop it in half, and now you could put a seed in the egg if you have the empty shell, and then put it in the ground, right? It offers a form of fertilization. Right?
Wait, back up. What do you do with the eggshell? What do you do with the eggshell?
Save them.
Well, if you crack it pretty good, like if you crack it neatly, you have 2 shells out of 1.
Okay.
And then you can put a bit of dirt on the egg inside the egg,
and
put a seed in it. And then you could start it like that. The egg itself provides chemicals for fertilization, right?
Okay.
It's an excellent form. If it's an egg that you can't use, crush it up in a crusher, right?
Okay.
And put it on the plants as fertilizer, right? Also, any food that you use that's rotting, right?
Yeah.
Throw it in the dirt. That puts more minerals in it.
Does that include moldy cheese? Is that part of it good too?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Use that. Yes, definitely.
Okay, coffee grounds. I've heard
coffee
that.
Coffee grounds are excellent for gardens.
So Deb, what do you do with it? What do you do with it?
Mix it in the dirt.
Mix it into the dirt. That's it.
Any leftover liquid coffee, throw it in the dirt.
Oh yeah,
Mix it to water.
Okay, that's really great idea. Diatomaceous earth is also good for soils.
Very good for soil.
Also, another one too for the ones in the Northeast and northern places. So now you're coming in your garden, or that you have leaves that maybe didn't get picked up. Okay, so the brown leaves right now, the rotting leaves.
Oh yeah.
Gather them together and crush them with your hands. Ooh. Right, crush them with your hands and put them in the plants too. That's another form of fertilization.
Okay, someone says make your own soil and add Epsom salts. Do not use the peat pots. They are also leach minerals from the plants. No meat scraps. Okay, no meat scraps, they're saying.
No, never meat.
Okay. Love coffee grounds, they're saying. A lot of people here are going, it's great to have this live stream because a lot of people are commenting on what you're saying, and they're also throwing in a few of their own little ideas there too, and which is really helpful. Okay, so we have coffee grounds. Someone in Southwest Ohio said that her dad always waited till May 15th to plant, and it was good. So I guess it depends on your region too. And on the back of this, it does, have that whole region thing here that tells you, when it's appropriate to start. I mean, this is really intimidating to somebody like me.
Yeah, no, it's no big deal. Anywhere in the South right now, you can actually start planting outside, right? Anywhere in the South of the United States, Florida, all along the traditional side. Arizona's perfect, New Mexico, right? California, right? Yeah. But anywhere that normally has snow, ice.
Yeah. What's that, Deb?
Mine has been going for a while, but I have it all year round.
Yeah, you have
certain things.
An eggplant that's been going how many seasons? How many years?
This is the 6th season for it. That's how old it is.
And she gets so much eggplant from it. You were giving it away to people because so much was growing on it. But you don't have to. Do you prune it? What about pruning?
I do. I prune it back and I give it a break because it gets hot.
Right.
And then as soon as it starts cooling down, it comes back again. But it gives me. It only takes a break for a couple of months. It's now got blooms all over it again. But it got really cold, and I cut it back after we had a freeze, and unusual here. We had a really cold snap come through, and I cut it back. And but I had eggplant on it, and when I cut it back, I took all the eggplant off, and I cut it back, and now it's blooming like crazy. It's 6 years old.
Wow. And so this is great because people who want to come back to the to view this later, you can look at the suggestions that people are also giving in the live chat, which is really great. Someone says too, borage is good for soil too. What do you guys know about that?
Borage, is that like borax?
Borage, Saipo, can you clarify the borage? Is that a form of borax, or is that something? Hi everybody.
I've never used it, but it might work.
Okay, ash out of a fireplace makes it in your soil too. What is about that?
That is good. What that person said is fantastic. And charcoal too. Charcoal as well.
Okay, charcoal. Because you want to enrich the soil, because things will obviously grow better in an enriched soil.
That's
the thing to do is to know what kind of enrichment you need to
Yeah, and you want to do it without harming the soil with like toxins.
Toxins.
You know, like Roundup.
Roundup. No,
crap, like
Miracle Grow.
Miracle Grow is not.
Don't need it. Okay. So food scraps, any food scraps aside, you know, excluding meats.
Organic food, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like garden food scraps, like vegetables food scraps.
The only thing, I agree, the only thing, like I said, you could put cheese, rotting cheese. That's like the only thing, okay? Because the reason why it has a bit of mold in it, all right?
Yes.
And that's a pretty bit of protein there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to screen share a video which I thought was kind of useful, and I might have the link here for people. But I want to screen share this and see what you guys think about this. It's someone's very organized in how they're doing this, and I know that you guys are very seasoned and you don't need to go, you know, do this, but this might help some people because there's a lot of steps, and when you're really good at this, you forget about all the little steps. Like me, I would just forget about it. So let me comment as you like when you see this. I'm gonna play this for everybody.
What's up, everybody? This is the beginning of this year's seed start. I start seeds on March 1st. I've got my little cheat sheet, garden dates to remember.
Look at that. Garden dates to remember. So he's got the different dates. I mean, he's really good at this. Like, this is like a farmer, right? And then he's got the different things he's going to plant together. And then it looks like he's got like a, he knows how to group it, you know, how to plant it, space it, and stuff like that. Like if you're going to start, I guess, in a garden, right?
I wonder where he is, because he's starting it, and then he's got fertilized after 2 weeks in the dirt, March 8th. So he's got to be in a warm climate.
He's in North Carolina, I think it said. Yeah, so it's pretty moderate there. So let me just hear what he has to say here.
Remember, and I check my inventory of seeds from previous years. I keep them in a glass jar in the refrigerator to keep them fresh. And I look at last year's template.
Now, this is pretty sophisticated, but it might, for people who are, you know, intimidated by this, they might feel like they need to get it organized like this. But this is someone who's planning on doing like a little mini greenhouse outside and how they're going to organize it, which is probably not what we're really talking about here, but he's starting things from scratch. We can get organized like this if we want to, but probably not too much to begin with. But let's hear for a minute what he has to say.
And I do this year's, figure out how many seeds I need to start. And here I am at Walmart. They got their seeds up. Here are some
Here he's talking about something else.
Take a paper towel and a spray bottle with regular water. I dampen the paper towel.
Have you guys seen this before? With the seeds?
Yes, yes, I do recommend what he's doing there. Yep.
Yes.
So he's getting them to germinate first. So let me, here, I'll turn this off. You guys can talk about it.
Yes.
Want to tell, Deb, you want to talk about what he's doing there?
Yeah, well, James already started where he's saying.
Okay. So this is fantastic what he's doing. So he's germinating the seeds. It'll take about 2 to 3 days before you see any roots start to come out. Once the roots start to come out, that's the time you would use, maybe I use tweezers, and I make a little hole in where I'm going to plant it.
Right.
Usually in like an eggshell carton, like Debbie was saying, to start them indoors first, because in the Northeast, you want to start them indoors first and then move them outside.
In the Northeast, you want to start them indoors first.
Yes.
When do you move them outside? When do you move them outside?
When you feel it's safe enough that you won't have any frost.
Let's see, he's putting them on a heating pad.
Right.
And I've never done that before because I live in a hot climate.
Okay, so you don't need it.
Right.
Right. Yeah, this is pretty sophisticated. No, look, watch what he does. He puts it in like, he stacks them all up, keeps them a certain temperature and makes sure it stays that temperature, puts the cloths on there. And yeah, like I couldn't believe this. But is it, so this is set it to 75 to 85 degrees. So if it's still too cool in the northern, so there you go. You got the germination of the seeds.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So
yeah, see, all the roots are starting on them.
And
right,
that's a
right.
good time to plant them right then, right where
Okay.
he's got it now.
Now, do you put these completely under? Do you put these completely under the? I'm sorry. Let me just do that. Under the excuse me. Under the soil.
Yeah.
Once you get, yeah,
Yes.
the whole thing.
That's why he said he uses the tweezers. You have the egg shells, the
Okay.
egg basket, egg box, whatever you want to call it.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's when you plant them.
The egg crate.
Egg crate. That's it.
Egg crate. Excellent. This is really guerrilla. I mean, this is really very bare bones kind of gardening that anybody can start. It sounds so really simple and helpful to people, especially like myself.
I have never ever used a heating pad ever. This guy has it down to a science.
Big time, yeah.
But
Same with me.
I mean, I've never had to do it. It germinates themselves with just the moisture and in the plastic.
Wow. Well, in a warmer climate, yeah, but in a cooler climate, it might be harder to germinate. Yeah, is that
I don't know. Did you have a problem with them germinating in Toronto without using a heating pad?
No, I never have, and never have. I never went that extravagant. What he's doing though is great. Like if you have the will to do that, that's fantastic. Right. I also want to mention this to everybody in the world too. From now on, every vegetable you have that has a seed, start saving the seeds and put them in fill containers, right? And mark them what it is, right? Because you're going to need those things, because who knows how shipping's going to be like coming from around the world. Now, the States is great. They have a lot of agricultural, right? But start saving the seeds now. Right.
I have a ton of seeds I've saved from all my vegetables. I have so many.
Well, that's another topic for a conversation another time, Deb, if you want to tell us how to prepare seeds, because I know that you can't always just take the seed like a lemon seed and then just plant it. Don't you have to like prepare it, right?
Just what you just saw.
Well, I think you have to rinse them off. Is that all you have to do, really?
Yeah, you just...
How do I know? I'm a city slicker, okay? I don't know.
I just put them on a paper towel to dry, and then put them in an envelope and I put the name of the seed on there.
My God. Okay. So if we were to have to survive, I would totally starve. But no, I'm going to learn. I swear, I'm going to learn with the viewers who are like me, who never really did well with this before. Look, I can grow flowers like everything, like even vegetables. If they've already been started and I have a plant, I can definitely take care of that plant and let it grow. But starting it from scratch, I just have problems. I don't know why. I just have problems. But let me just
your flowers that you grow, because I used to go, don't tell anyone, I used to grow flowers too. But anyway, the dead flowers, you can put them in the vegetables for extra minerals, right?
Oh. Yeah, I'll have plenty of that. Okay, so let me
just the toxic ones.
Except the top, yeah, right, because not all flowers could probably go in there. So let me just see what else he's doing. You want to explain what's going on here?
Okay, so now he's taking the seed carefully. He's poking holes in the dirt.
Right.
And he's going to put them in.
Okay.
I use tweezers for this, but you can do that too.
See, it's not completely submerged though. And like what Deb says, using the spray bottle.
Yeah.
You can see it just sprouting above the top though. Is that?
Yeah, that's to allow the light to hit it and it'll sprout faster. But that's a good idea.
Okay. Okay.
What he's doing.
But you don't include the paper towel or anything, right?
You could. It doesn't matter. You could if you want.
I would ask a question like that. Okay, so he's being real careful to take and just plant the seed there, put it in there like that, and keep. Yeah. Now, how often do you come back and water that?
Every 2 days.
Yeah.
Keep it moist. But if you're in a warm area like Debbie is in, because she's like in the heat there, I check it daily.
Yeah, it's every day.
Really?
Yeah, well, at least spritz it. You got to spritz it every day.
Just spritz it a little bit. I see. What about you, James? You're not that far from me, actually. I mean,
yeah. So for us, every 2 days, check on it, right? Because Debbie lives in a really hot environment, so she needs to check it
hot and dry.
Hot and dry. There you go. Right.
Very hot and dry. Although it probably rained more when I was there than.
Oh my God! It was a wet winter.
Probably all year. Yeah, yeah. But you get some really good pizza places by you. Even though we should have brought our own eggplant, they should have the stores with it. Bring your own.
So there's the pizza.
They didn't have any eggplant.
The pizza in Arizona, is it better than the New York pizza?
It's
Probably
different.
not.
It's different.
Yeah,
It's
it is
different.
different.
Okay.
I actually, you know what? Aside from the fact that they don't have eggplant.
Eggplant on there. Well, they stopped putting eggplant on
Yeah.
it just right
Yeah.
before.
It was like
NYPD pizza.
Yeah, but it was good pizza. I enjoyed it very much. Even when we were in Sedona, remember that, Deb?
Oh God.
It
Yes.
was really good. We had really good pizza there.
But they didn't put eggplant on it either.
No, they are completely out of eggplant, and maybe so. Whatever. You have to bring, if you want eggplant, you have to bring your own.
Bring your own. Bring your own eggplant.
There you go. And I'll tell you, once you have eggplant on pizza, there's never any going back. It's just the best. So anyway,
so Debbie, do you pickle your eggplant as well after when you get lots of it?
I do not. I make baba ganoush, and I make eggplant parmesan, and I make I have not made rollatini yet, which Louisa makes.
Yeah.
Ah.
Did you say pickled eggplant?
Yeah.
You mean you don't have a recipe for that? Oh, James,
well, no,
send that to me.
No, that I know the Italians do it. Many of the Italians, the Italian bakeries, they sell it, right?
I know.
And then I started making it too, so why not?
I don't have a recipe for that, but I make very good sauce. So.
Yeah, that's great. No, this is what we need to try to do. I mean, we are trying to help everybody say, look, it's not as complicated as it seems. And I think it's because of the dry forced hot air in my house that I've been having this problem. And Deb has put me on the right track saying, spray it instead of watering it, because I'm over watering it. But how many rocks? Some say that if you put too many pebbles in the bottom, then it's not going to allow the roots to grow. So how many little pebbles do you put in the bottom of these things? In the little planters to begin with? Do you have to use them?
You don't have to use them if it has drainage.
Mm-hmm.
If it already has drainage, and James has a really good idea. Put newspaper.
Okay.
Because that's really good for the soil.
Yeah, I don't usually use rocks unless it's a big planter, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I was talking about, the big planters. If they don't have drainage at all, I would put rocks.
Yeah, Jeannie, we're talking about eggplant. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. She's making comments.
I'm going to have, listen, the blooms on my eggplant, my plant right now, there's probably 50 or 60 blooms on it right now. I'm going to have a lot of eggplant.
Yeah. Wow. Ooh, good, Deb. I'm coming back out. Okay. So look, I really haven't succeeded at growing anything yet, like food, except the green thing that was growing out of my onion, and that grew really tall. So, but I have
a nice tomato. I don't
think that looks beautiful and delicious, like a tomato sandwich on bread with a little, well, some people like to put a little mayonnaise on that. You toast the bread, a little mayonnaise with some tomatoes. The best in the world, the best in the world. What I'm going to do is I'm going to document my doing this, because if I can do it, and I'm a pretty smart person, but I just don't really, I just haven't been able to succeed at doing this. But if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I have a real, brown thumb around here, but I have a very salty, because I'm close to the water, so I have a very salty
Do you know anybody that has land?
Well,
that you go dig up some?
No, I have to do it on a deck.
No, I mean, do you know anybody that has land, or is there somewhere nearby you can go get some dirt from somewhere else?
Well, right now I did buy some, what do you call it? Soil? Starting soil? What is it called?
Topsoil and
I don't know, some kind of soil.
Okay. All right.
See how good I am at this. I'm telling you, if I can do this, and I'm going to document this, I'm going to take photos, and I'm going to, maybe do a quick little video here and there to see how our progress is. And, you know, will Deb, I know you will, and James, will you come back and check in on my progress and tell me how I'm doing, and then tell me what I'm doing wrong, because whatever I do wrong, you know, someone else is gonna learn from it too. It's not just my mistake.
But that's the joy of it, Louisa. Like, I mean, how many times in life have we done things wrong? You learn from it, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
So
I started off, I was 18, 17 years old doing my first garden.
Potting soil. Right, Colleen, potting soil. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. So I'm going to take some regular potting soil first. I'm going to do the, I'm going to germinate the seeds for the right, whichever ones are ready, meaning the right zones, right? So, so maybe it's carrots.
Start with the lettuce. If you have lettuces and leafy plants, start with those.
You're saying, wait, I already have carrots right now. Like, I don't even need to use these. So you're telling me I can use a carrot because it's a root plant, a root vegetable. So I can take the carrot, I could take the root, cut the bottom off, and I can.
So the top of it, where it has that, the top of a carrot.
Yeah, that's reversed. It's reversed with a carrot.
You see, it's not second nature to some people. I'm a really good cook too.
The bottom's not going to do you any good.
I get it. Okay, let's not make it obvious. Okay, I really missed that one. Okay, does anybody have in the live chat? Anybody have any questions or anything that they'd like to add to this? Because we just wanted to make this short and sweet, and then what we'll do is maybe Deb can take some pictures of her garden next time we come back, if you want. Guys want to join me again. And James, you do the same thing. Can you take a picture? Can you do what you do with your lettuce there, and then, you know, we'll come back in like a week or something, and we'll see what progress we've all made. Or like, you can show me and I'll show you what I've done, and we can try to help each other, because we need to start growing our own food. If you live in an urban area, I mean, James and Deb are talking about real basic things that you can do. Take your own vegetable, cut it, and start planting, and stuff we already have right now.
Keep it simple.
Right, James? James?
Definitely. Keep it simple. And even like I said, whenever you got vegetables now, start saving the seeds, everybody, right?
Do you just let them dry out though? Because I noticed if I put like an avocado seed in my little basket there, it dries out. So
yeah,
what are you
let it dry out for a couple of days. I put them on a dish with a napkin, right? And let them dry 2 to 3 days, and then I put them in a container for when I'm ready to plant, right, or germinate, right? And
so.
The germination's exactly like the guy said. Put a napkin, put the seeds on, fold it over, wet it with a spray bottle, and wait till they actually start to sprout, right?
Well, Bilbo, I know there's a lot of, you're right, there's a lot of info on YouTube and stuff like that, but it's kind of good to have the interaction and conversation, because you can get live, you know, feedback from, if you're trying to grow something and you're having trouble. I'll put up a notice that, you know, when I'll have the next survival series gardening again, so that we can come back and check in on how we're doing, because it really isn't second nature to people who aren't used to doing it. So I really feel compelled to want to start this series, to start to talk about gardening, and at least grow something on your, you know, get a flower box and grow something, anything. Just start with one thing and see how you do. And I have a feeling we can all do it. We can all do it. I have a feeling we can all figure out how to do it, right, guys?
Yep.
Definitely, yes.
Is there something you recommend not trying to grow on a patio garden?
Bananas, especially where we are.
It's an honest answer.
Okay, so let's face it.
For the not so obvious, okay, right? That's good.
So,
that's really
so
good.
you gotta use your head when you're growing, right? So you don't, in the Northeast, you don't want to plant like pineapples or tropical plants,
or watermelon.
Or
Oh, really? We shouldn't try growing watermelon.
No, I'd forget the watermelon in the Northeast.
It grows in a vine, like about 12 feet long.
It takes up too much space.
Look, I got seeds. What the heck? I don't know. I told you.
Yeah.
See,
it takes too much space.
Some people never grew anything. And
it grows very long, very big, and long. I mean, it takes up a whole yard.
A whole yard, like a pumpkin, yeah? Like pumpkin?
Like pumpkins.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a vine.
Yeah, the vine, exactly.
That doesn't grow in a pot. Just one. It doesn't grow just one. It grows many.
Well, if you want to grow it, then you have to have one. You would say like one big box just for the melons,
No,
right?
It grows more than one box.
No, like your size box, bigger than that.
Oh no, bigger than that. It would take up my whole yard.
Really?
A watermelon, yes.
Okay, guys, don't try to grow watermelons.
Unless you have a farm.
Unless you have a garden.
Yeah,
exactly.
A big garden.
Yeah. Well, this has been really helpful. I hope everybody who's joining us today and who watches this afterwards will keep an eye out for, for our next episode, because we can share how we're doing. Everybody really needs to learn how to grow something. Okay. I think we need to help each other so that we can at least know we can survive. God forbid we need to rely on ourselves and our own skills and abilities. So I'm a really good example, because I've never, although I've come from a family of people with amazing, gardens and farms, I just never had to do it myself. And so that's a problem. So I'm learning, and I'm learning with everybody. So, and I'll make my mistakes, and everybody can help learn, and we can all learn together with that. So thank you very much, James Borg from Euphoria Chronicles. Amazing. See, anybody can do farming, right? Even if you are into UFOs. And Deb's got Deb's got a light language channel, and also healing. You do remote healing.
My husband,
right?
Right. We do live, healings with my husband. He'll teach love.org is our website. Yeah, love.org. And Deb's a really interesting person. So we're at the Grand Canyon, and these crystals are speaking to her, and they're talking to us. It was amazing. You have to really be there. Yeah, she's really very gifted. Yeah, very interesting person, and gifted too. So I look forward to having you both. Would you both come back on and talk about some gardening?
Definitely, sure. Why not?
Great. Well, thanks for being with me today and joining me. And I hope that everybody has, aquaponics. That's another thing that we could talk about as well. Definitely. Hydroponics. The aquaponics is the fish with it, but the hydroponics is just growing that differently. Yes, we need to start having this conversation, because everybody needs to start growing something and learning how to grow something on their own. And
it's rewarding. It really is.
Well, especially when you get to eat it. Oh, that's the best reward, right? So everybody, thanks so much for joining us, and just keep a lookout for our survival series on the GoldFish Report. And we will be back for another one. So thank you both so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you again soon.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
And this concludes this edition of the GoldFish Report. Thanks for joining us. So let me just end the live stream.